Hello all. Today
Hi.
I have the pleasure of being with my good colleague Miriam, who is a technical director of assets in IDE. You all probably know IDE already, but in case you don't, Miriam, can you give us a quick intro?
Yeah. Hi. Hello, Christos, and thank you very much for this conversation. So, yes, suppose for those who don't know ID Technologies, so it's a global company working in desalination and water treatment based in Israel. The company who actually built most of the desalination, the mega desalination plants in Israel that are supplying up to about 80% of all the water for domestic consumption in the country. But more than this, we have projects, plans in 40 countries around the world. Very emblematic ones like the projects in India, in Reliance, the biggest
Also in the
refinery.
US?
Sorry.
The project's also in the US?
Yes, and the largest desalination plant in the Western Hemisphere, that is in San Diego, California, the
Mhm.
Carlsbad plant. And I think one of the largest in Chile, that is Quebrada Blanca, and we are actually in the phase of construction of two other projects in Chile, very important one. The one is the Codelco one, and the Aconcagua, Aguas Pacífico. So we have a lot of projects around the world.
And it's not only that you have a lot of big projects worldwide, but you're also running your own portfolio of technologies, right?
Yes, yes. Actually, I'm talking about maybe more about seawater desalination, but the company is putting a lot of efforts, and we have very nice outputs for water treatment, for water reuse, what is called potable reuse. So different technologies that combined in different ways can treat any kind of water, more or less, can cope with different challenges. If it is, I don't know, if it is water treatment, a problematic one, as we have now in a city in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. That this is a very nice projects for well water, or other projects for wastewater reuse. As for example, we have in Cherokee in Colorado, US, where we are implementing there our PFRO technology. So these technologies that can give a wide range of solutions.
And it's not only to know how to properly do desalination, but building really big systems is another science unto itself, right? And
Yes.
with its own problems. And you cannot just scale up from 100 cubic meters per hour to 1,000. There's a whole
Yeah,
philosophy gap in between.
I think the difference is between technology or equipment or a machine for desalination and a project for desalination. Of course, a project for desalination is much wider. You have a lot of challenges. You have permit challenges, you have partner challenges, you have different disciplines to take in account. So it's not enough to be an expert in technology. It's requiring much more capabilities than this. But at the same time, it's much more interesting.
According to your opinion, because you have been in the sector for quite a number of years,
Many
and
years.
having a lot of experience with innovation, do you see any technologies in the coming years being able to push the recovery of industrial wastewaters and seawater up to higher standards than, I don't know, 45 or 50%?
Look, the problem with seawater technology is that, of course, you have a thermodynamic limitation there. But I think that the point is, if you want to improve the recovery, or if you want to reutilize your brine, that is more or less the same. So in this aspect, IDE has very good solutions for the reuse of the brine. That is the self-generation of chemicals. It can be chemicals most maybe dedicated or oriented to the post-treatment, to the rehardening of the water, CO2, etc., etc. But it's real, it's just going to happen. Part of it is going to be implemented in the next plants that will be operated soon here in Israel, Sorek 2, and then Western Galilee. So it's a reality, and it's very exciting. I think at the moment it will be implemented as many other technologies will be like a boom in the market, and a lot of developments will go around it. This is what I think is going to happen.
Certainly, we could use an avalanche effect when it comes to brine projects, especially as I'm coming from that part of the water sector. I'm just wondering if worldwide there would be more commercial potential for something that has a recovery of 60%, for example, rather than go to 80% or 99+%.
Yeah, I hear, of course, it depends where and depends on the salinity of the water. But I have seen different exercises looking at 60% recovery with different energy recovery systems. For example, going with double stage. I don't have the experience, and I'm not exactly recommending it now, but I think it is there, and technologies will develop on this direction, no doubt.
Do you think that we have made it as a sector, that we have conveyed what we can do to the people who are outside of our immediate professional bubble? Do you think that the rest of the world really understands what we're doing, or are they just looking at us like magicians with a black box?
Yeah, okay, you can, I think people do not really understand, as we don't understand other technologies, right? But I think we are doing a lot for people to understand that we have a solution here, okay? And the solution is here to provide a tool against drought, against scarcity, water scarcity. and it is here. You have to just take it and use it. Of course, you have to pay for that because it has a cost. But in the face that you don't have any other source of water, desalination, and any kind of unconventional water reuse is valid and should be used. And sometimes people get confused because different, I don't know if I call it, I don't know how to say in English, mythos, yes, or legends, that people think desalination is very expensive, has a very high energy consumption. So I will not say it's not true, but it depends on what do you compare it with. Okay, and what are the other alternatives? Yes, but definitely what I'm completely convinced is that the technology, first of all, is viable, okay, and that you can get an excellent water quality, desalinated water quality. Okay, you can.
Speaking about water quality, I think you can definitely share a story with us about people who don't really understand what kind of quality comes out of a desalination, right?
Yeah, so I had the opportunity to present IDS or the Israel Desalination Society in one of the countries in Latin America. And I think people really, I think it was nice because I felt that me and the other presenters gave many journalists, the audience of many journalists, the perspective of what water desalination means. So another colleague present the fact that in Israel, actually, the government is buying the water by something like 50 cents of dollar per cubic meter, and saying that it is 50 cents of dollar per 1,000 liter. So it was, wow, what? How can it be? So it was very important. I am very careful when I'm saying these numbers because, you know, it depends on many, many factors, but this is the range. Let's say even $1 for 1,000 liter. When you talk about bottled water, that the price is, I don't know, 100 times higher or something like this, or even 1,000 times higher. So and you cannot compare the quality, but still there is the fear of the water quality. And then after this presentation, I got an email asking if I have statistics for death due to the drinking of this liquid. Okay, or any other diseases caused by desalinated water. And I was really, really surprised. But I can understand from where this concern comes. It is, I don't know, a lack of, how do you say, marketing of desalination water.
And on this point, I would like to point out myself that I think the industry has been way more reactive than proactive in a lot of matters. And an excellent example is the PFAS now. topic. A shout out to Rabbit Levy and all his recent efforts on that topic. Yeah, we always wait for something to happen in order for us to go in there and suggest a solution as an industry. But we never really try to educate the people for the options that we can provide them. We never really try now, especially in the last years, to try to imprint on the general public that water is not something common. It's a very precious strategic resource that we need to save.
Yes, I think the reason is because let's say the world is separated between the governance or the government management of the water in different countries. And usually they are part of the financing minister or something like this. And people look at water that is part of the nature and should be for free. Okay, so they really think that something that is flowing anywhere and it looks nice, so it's fresh water. And this is not the reality anymore. I think, I don't know, like a colleague said, we are just drinking like a dinosaurus pee, more or less, because yes, we are recycling our water. And in this respect, when you come like a company and you try, for example, me, okay, so it looks like I'm trying to promote my technology, to sell my technology. And there is now an initiative that you have heard about now, that is the Water Positive think tank, that I think that is very positive, not only as water positive, but also in promoting a very good solution that is the use of unconventional water, like with the technologies like desalination for seawater and water reuse. And I think this is it's not the first time, because there are other associations, but in this case, I think it's a good initiative that many professionals from different companies that actually compete each with other come together to give a message. So we are here, please look at our technologies. Okay, they are viable, you can use it, and you can just improve a lot of things, but doing but implementing it. I'm not talking now about the definition of water positive, but the initiative as a group of independent professionals is, I think, is unique in this sense.
It makes all more sense that we all unite as water professionals to promote the idea that we have incoming serious problems with our water resources. Never mind if we belong to the advanced or the non-advanced part of this world, right? The water stress affects us all. And when it does, everything will be affected.
Yeah,
like everything runs on water.
Yes, everything runs on water, and as there is a price to generate fresh water, there is a higher price for the water that you don't have. And you can really, if you look at the World Bank presentations, you can see the effect of scarcity on different areas, because Obviously, it depends on the activities of each area, but you can see it affects agriculture, it affects industry, it will affect everything. I'm not talking even on the very basic use of the water, right? But I'm talking more about the economical development of different regions. So I think we are starting to understand the value of water. Until now, I think most of the, let's say, term of, or the use of the term of sustainability was always oriented to say, okay, we want a greener planet, we want to care about our original resources, etc., etc. And then people, or at least I understood it lately, that the sustainability must be a balance between the needs for the development of the humanity for now and for the future generations and the nature. Okay, but for a minute, you don't have to forget the need for the water for people to develop. So this is, I hope it will be, let's say, the approach, more than, looking only at the challenges of these technologies, that, by the way, companies are working very hard to overcome these challenges.
And for this, we need, I think, three things, more or less. We need smarter water management. Yeah,
Exactly.
we need innovative, efficient solutions that can drive up the recovery from wastewater streams. And we also need to educate the public, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to consumption. And by doing the latter, we can put stress on the legislators in order to adapt to the new realities. And my guess is that with a little bit of the price driving up, you will see a lot of industry clients running to find a solution for water reuse.
Yeah, it should be nice, it should be done. The price of the value of water should be recognized.
Definitely. So just as a closer here, Miriam, given your experiences, your recent experiences in desalination and water treatment, apart from the PFAS issue, do you see any other problems incoming for the water sector?
Yeah, I think that we should, there are a lot of contaminants that should be considered. All the microplastics that should be considered. Fortunately, I think that most of the technologies, the membrane technologies that are in use, are coping with these requirements. Not sure for all of them, but as you said, as the legislations bring up the problems, so companies are ready to do it. But again, it will affect the price of water, because it's like you have to buy a medicine. You have to do something to repair something else.
Yeah, and it's better to pay a little bit more now than to pay three times or five times more down the line, right? But what I get from our conversation is that at least water is in good hands as long as people let us, water professionals, deal with the problem.
in a responsible way, I
Yeah.
would say.
Have
Yes.
some adult engineering on the table.
Yes.
Miriam, I would like to thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk with us. Have a
Thank
nice
you
day
very
ahead.
much.
We stay in touch, and hopefully we can also create fire chat with the water think tank. Yeah, I
Sure,
think this would be definitely interesting for all of us in the sector. Take
sure.
care.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. You too.